What is up, you guys? I'm going to be doing a top 5 centers video right now. And basically the criteria is size, build, what type of blocker do I see them being, and availability. So if you're obviously my 5th favorite center, is probably because there's more issues with you than with the other guys. And then it's about availability, and then who's just simply the best of the guys that I'm pretty sure the Rams have a good chance of drafting, or they might get picked up like barely before we end up getting our 2nd round pick in. So I'm going to start off with Nick Harris out of Washington. Nick is a very good zone blocking type of center. The only thing about him though is his size. So his height is about 6'1". His weight's about 290, almost maybe 300 pounds, but it's still pretty good built. But in the NFL, it's about who's big, who can move who around, who's the best when it comes to zone blocking, power base, pass protection. And he has some question marks when it comes to pass protection. He's still pretty good, but when it comes to like big, powerful defensive tackles, defensive ends, he has issues. And he's got some issues when he went against big power-based type of defensive line. So that's who I'm kind of going off of. And Nick Harris, to me, would be a really solid round 4 to 6, type of center. Maybe your last resort. Maybe the Rams went in a different direction. They went pass rusher. They went guard. They probably could go defensive line. And then they said, you know what, we need to get a interior lineman. Let's go with the center. We'll go with Nick Harris, maybe round 5, maybe round 4. So that's what I consider him, a last resort for the Rams. So Nick Harris out of Washington, he's good, just not the biggest built guy. More like a Brian Allen-esque type of center that we already have, and he had issues, but maybe you plug in this guy, he's got more fighting to him, probably a little bit better. So it could be a good match for the Rams, mainly if they go really early on with other positions of need. So Nick Harris is still good. The only question mark is his size, his pass protection, but as a blocker, he's a good, decent zone blocker. He's got some power to him, but just isn't my favorite of the 5 that I mentioned. So now we're going to move on to number 4. This guy's out of Michigan, Cesar Ruiz, 6'4", so a big difference already from 6'1" to 6'4", and 320 pounds. He put a pretty good year in Michigan this last year. Well-balanced blocker, both in run blocking and pass protection. And he's a 3-year starter, so he's got enough size and just simply an overall quality center. Could compete as a guard, but more of a center. And the thing with him is I put him as mainly best overall available for the Rams if they don't draft someone in the 3rd round. So maybe he's available in the 4th, 5th round. So if he's still available in 4th, 5th round, he will be the best available guard / center. And I would not be surprised if the Rams just go and get him, because I think after rounds 4, 5, 6, he won't be there. And to me, he's actually a 2nd round talent. So I see him as a really good run blocker, really good in pass protection, nice size at 6'4", 320 pounds. This could all change though also when it comes to the combine. I want to see how fast they are, how much they bench, and then I'll probably make another video maybe rearranging these later on. But for right now, he's my 4th favorite center, and simply because overall he's just really well balanced as a blocker, and he should be really good for the Rams if we end up going that route. Now, my 3rd favorite is a little biased pick, but I'm going to have to go with LSU's Lloyd Cushenberry. Fantastic size, 6'3", 315 pounds. Pretty quick for a guy his size. Could be a solid blocker for the Rams, and is a really reliable pass protector. He was in the Senior Bowl showing off his skills. Him and Damian Lewis both paired up. And with also the Kentucky guard Stenberg, were really good with the first like 10 minutes of the Senior Bowl, just protecting protecting the quarterback, running the ball very efficiently, moving bodies around, and Lloyd is actually pretty good in the screen pass game. So just like the way that he's progressed from his last year to this year, and him winning the NCAA championship, and you can't do that without having a really good, solid offensive line, and that's why I like Lloyd. Just is a good size, good build, decent speed, really reliable in pass protection, number one, because that's what we need. We need to protect Goff, but we also need to run the ball efficiently, and he's really good at both. So for me, he's my top third lineman, and also his availability would be rounds 2 to 4. I don't see him going past round 4. So second rounder, I think, is his best chance of getting maybe early third but late second, and that's when the Rams pick. And I think the Rams should totally go after this guy if the opportunity is there. But I will not be surprised if he's still there in the third round, and maybe the fourth round. But after that, I don't see him being available. I think a team like the Cardinals will get him, possibly a team like the Seattle Seahawks, those other teams like the Dolphins, the Raiders. They got picks for days, so they might look at him and go, you know what, we need a guard, we need a center, and they'll put him in there. And Lloyd is actually pretty damn good, so I would love for the Rams to go get this guy. For me, he's my favorite center, but I know talent-wise, he's not the best, because the next two are, to me, my favorite two centers when it comes to talent. But he just, after winning that championship and knowing that he's a solid guy, I don't want to risk, failing on a pick, and I know he's overall really talented. Now, number 2, to me, he's my favorite zone blocking center, and it's Jake Hanson out of Oregon. 6'5", 302 pounds. His 40 time is projected to be 4.99, but he's so fast, man. As a center, this guy is quick. He might be the fastest 40 time for a center his size. Just fantastic blocks versus Derek Brown in the Auburn game, the 2019 opener, which is a solid blocker. And every week he just moves bodies around. You'll see games where he just open lanes for days for running backs, just open lanes. To me, he's better as an interior blocker than anything, but his pass protection is great, and he's able to assist his guards. Like, let's say they're having trouble with a specific player on one-on-ones, he goes in and bumps them and helps them, and then bumps the other side, and he does it fast, like he's like a computer. So his IQ is really, really good, and then he's just physically gifted. He's fast. He might, lack weight, but he's more muscle, and he just moves people around, and he's just so damn good. To me, this will be a home run get if the Rams get this guy, especially at center, because he's super talented, he's physically talented, and he's very smart. His technique's there. I'm having a hard time between him and the number 1 center. But as a zone blocking guy and pass protector, this is the guy you want. Jake Hanson out of Oregon. I know a lot of Rams fans, especially on Twitter, are wanting to get this guy. I'm kind of torn between him and Lloyd, because I know this guy is more physically gifted and just fits the Rams better. But I know Lloyd will be there when we pick. I just feel like this guy will be gone by like the late first round or early second. I see him in late first, early second. And then the Rams are obviously picking, late second. So if he ends up being there for the Rams, go and get this guy. He'll be the best decision you'll ever make if you need offensive line. Now, number 1 is Tyler Biadasz out of Wisconsin. I see him going mid-first, early second. I don't see him going anywhere past that. I know a lot of Rams fans are saying, oh, we need to get Tyler. But I don't think the guy will be there. I think he's the best center when it's power-based, offensive line. And as a pass protector, no one's getting past this guy. He's just built like a brick house. 6'3", 360 pounds. He is a mauler, brawler, a strong anchor on the offensive line. He handles bull rushes and strength-based pass rushers with ease. And he blocks through the whistle. His ground game is fantastic. As an athletic guy and quick, he's just I'm torn between him and Jake Hanson. but I know this guy's stronger and the other guy's faster. He's a polished blocker, and he can be quickly. This guy can be quickly your, starting center right off the bat. Just put him in, plug him in, you'll be great to go. He'll for sure open up running lanes for Todd Gurley to get back to his 2018, 2017 form. And to me, he's my favorite center. Tyler Biadasz is number one, just simply because he's just gifted, powerful, quick, IQ's up there. And then number two would be Jake Hanson out of Oregon. Size, speed, and then technique. Number three would be Lloyd Cushenberry. Size, solid blocker, not the fastest but solid, and I think it will be available for the Rams in the second round. Fourth will be Cesar Ruiz, best available possibly if they don't go center right off the bat, but I know that he will be available, maybe third, fourth rounder. And then my last resort would be Nick Harris out of Washington. Could be a solid piece, could be like a Jamon Brown type of guy you can plug in, and you'll have a decent offensive line, but won't be the most athletic and won't be the biggest guy, but will be there and will be a decent contributor to your offensive line. So that's my top 5, you guys. Let me know what you guys think. Leave a like, leave a share, leave a comment, and like always, you guys, go Rams.